Waddey?
Yes.
Perfect. Everybody, we have got, as you can see, one hell of a physique sitting in the studio today. Cordell Waddey is 1, a IFBB Pro, 2, an advocate for men's mental health, which I think is amazing. He's also a representative from Titan Medical Center, so his knowledge on peptides, TRT, and chemicals in general is going to be something that we're going to dive into. I'm going to have Kevin introduce him. You and Kevin have struck up a relationship at Metroflex where Cordell trains, which is the best gym as far as I'm concerned in the Tampa area. It's the most hardcore place you have. And we're going to dive into his bodybuilding journey, which we had a couple of a bit of a chat before, and is exceptionally detailed in regards to how hard he worked to get where he is. And then that'll tie straight into mental wellness, because I can guarantee you, if you're a competitive bodybuilder and not even taking 2 levels up and saying you're a pro competitive bodybuilder, it is probably one of the strongest mental games in any sport. So welcome. We're happy to have you here.
I appreciate that.
It's long overdue.
Yeah.
I'm excited to have you.
Yeah, and let's start this. Tell us, when did you turn pro?
Real quick, let me jump in a couple of things about Cordell that I know that I appreciate of him. Is what I've gotten to know of you is just how much you care about other people. The way your interactions in the gym are with my wife, the way you supported her through her first competition, the way I've seen you just interact with people. You're one of the nicest, most kind people. Former college athlete, worked with athletes, bodybuilding journey. We're going to dive into that stuff. But to me, one of the most admirable things that I know that you do is you give back to kids at your church. And I think that's incredible. So we need more of that. We need more positive male influence in our communities. So I love that. So for what that was, let's dive into Cordell today. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, so again, how did you get into body? Let's put it. How did you get into body?
Oh, well, now we're really getting ready to get into it. So how I got into bodybuilding is that my dad passed away. It's been 9 years now. So I wanted to add an extra part of my life. I consider bodybuilding as adding an extra day to my life. Why is that? Because when I was in college, I didn't know how to eat right. Man, I ran track and then we went to McDonald's after.
Yep.
Okay. So, the thing is that when I got out of college, like they said, 5% of people out of college will go pro and go professional.
Yeah.
So the biggest investment I did after I got out of college is get a gym membership. So I just started working out, doing things I learned from college. One of the bodybuilders I actually watched who influenced me to work out even more harder was Dana Bailey. So I started watching her. She was the first person I watched.
First female Olympian.
Right? Yes. And that was the year she went to the Olympia and won the Olympia. And that's when she was doing CrossFit too. So I got CrossFit and bodybuilding actually confused. So I just saw a poster one time when I was living in South Carolina. Okay, bodybuilding show. But this is when you're out of college, you're trying to figure out yourself in life.
Sure.
Because of course they're saying it's like life is not like milk and honey when you get out of college, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
So I lived in a couple places and stuff, a couple towns, trying to figure out where I want to move to and live. Then I found semi-pro football, because I'm the oldest of 5, and I knew that my talent was to stay in sports out of all the rest of my siblings. So which I did, no matter how it was, what it was, something to stay active. So I did semi-pro football for about 4 or 5 years, which that really wasn't getting me nowhere. I was trying to go to the CFL. I was trying to go to the arena football. Like, that didn't happen. So one year my dad was getting sick. Mom told me that he had cancer. So that just put me in a different place where it's like, before he passed away, I wanted to be a star athlete somewhere where that my mom and my dad, my siblings can be like, wow, he would admit it. So my dad saw me playing football. The last thing he saw me do before he passed away was semi-pro football, but that really wasn't good enough. Then back April, the month of April, I said, you know what? Somebody at the gym, I was in the gym in Jacksonville, Florida, and they were telling me about your physique. I didn't know what the hell that was. I didn't know what the word that word was. So And then one guy, he was a bodybuilder. He was going through getting he just got his pro card. He was just telling me about that. So I said, you know what? It was the first show. It was April 16, 2006. April 16, 2016. It was the Dexter Jack. No, it was called Jack's Physique back then. They don't have that show anymore. It was always the first show in Jacksonville. So I went to that. So I said, okay, I'm going to do it. Had nothing to do with it. But at the time, this is when everybody was good to give you information. I had no coach. I just went off of sports gym, and I actually played 6 out of 20-some people.
Wow.
So that's when something sparked in me, like, maybe I might find something I might like. And then, again, now this is coming off a year already. My dad passed away already, okay? So he died in October 7th. The year prior in 2015, so 2016, this is what the year I started. So I was like, okay. And then I had found a coach, the great Lee Banks, who passed away. He was my first coach ever. And then once he had showed me, talked to me, figure out, okay, you got a potential doing this and doing that. So this is when I learned about diet plans and working out, learn how to drink water, learn how to eat rice. I told my mom, I said, Mom, I never ate so much rice in a day in my life before. She said, I give it to you all the time, like, because she said all the food I eat now is like they gave it to us, but we never wanted to eat it.
Yeah.
Now she looks at me now like, okay. So she, about time. 30-something years later. Yeah. So, and then I started doing it. Then I looked in the mirror one day. I started having abs. My back structure was going. And I was like, wow, I didn't know eating right, you can actually change. Because everybody uses saying, and the old school saying was bulking this, bulking that, bulking this, size on, eat everything, drink 12 protein shakes a day. No. It's about structure. And then when I learned that, and then I went to my first show, it was John Hansen's first show, Mr. Universe Natural, his show that was here in Tampa.
Yeah.
I placed second. I won the novice, and I placed second in the open. And it was like, this is fun. And then I started winning stuff. Then that year I did 11 shows in the Natural League. Huh. I got my first pro card in the NGA. Mm-hmm. Then I got into OCB. I went to start traveling. I said, you know what? I think I'm going to do this. And then the following year did another 11 in the Natural League. And then I fell off and went to another coach. And I started winning in the NPC. And then one coach was like, you ever thought about taking gear? I was like, what is that? And then it was there for that's when I was like, oh no. So that was another year I just did it all natural, Then Errol was talking about about going pro and go and get your pro card. So I was like, yeah, cool. But then somebody told me, well, if you get a pro card, you have to get on some stuff. But that was that. Okay, if I do this, I'm going to be that guy. Now, let me let you know now, I could tell you in my first 2 years or before this, I never, ever looked at a magazine. Never knew magazines.
So you really had no history on the sport. You just kind of fell straight into it.
I fell straight onto it, and I grew every year learning about it. This is when, as YouTube, Instagram start coming out more, and YouTube start blowing up more. This because the magazine started to go away.
Yeah.
So it was more watching these people running around. People would say, "Oh, this girl, I don't want to look like that. I don't want to look like that. Going to look like that." Then when you start looking like that, you're like, "Oh, I like looking like this." Like my mom looking. Every time I go home now, my mom looks at me like, "I just don't know where you get all this muscle from. This muscle." Same thing, my brothers and my sisters. But it was just like,
how hard was it to transition from being an athlete to bodybuilding?
Well,
I'm not saying that bodybuilders are athletes. I'm just saying from football.
We are all athletes. Absolutely. And the thing is that when somebody said like we are athletes, the difference is between an actual athlete, some athletes, is that you're on a team. This is individual.
Yeah.
And the transition part
I should maybe rephrase it. Team sport to individual athlete like that.
So I ran track in college. Now they consider that as individual sport because when you're on that line, it's just you.
It's just you. Yeah.
And now when you're on that stage, it's just you. And the thing is that the transition was very easy because I realized that if I have something set, as I tell my clients, if I have a direction, I can excel in that direction. This is why in the conversation we had earlier, when it comes to my coaching, feel like the communication is, if I don't have any directions, this is when my thoughts start kicking in.
Yeah.
Start racing around. You want to look on social media and say, I want to look like that. But the thing of it is that, when it comes to the individual sport, you want to learn how to be the best version of yourself.
Right.
That is your biggest competition.
I think that's translatable to life too, right there.
It's life too, because in a team sport, you can always lean on the person in front of you or the back of you.
Yeah.
Okay. But when it comes to this, they say we have teams you're on, but you're really not on a team.
It's all on you.
It's you.
It's all on you. Yeah, your teammate can, because y'all all trained by the same coach. He can be like, somebody can help you out here and there, give you a little advice. But honestly, what advice works for you is not going to work for me.
Right.
And I found that the hard way going into the Hurricane Pro.
Right.
So, but the transition is that if you got that dog in you and you got that work ethic in you, that's one thing about me. I got a crazy work ethic. If I have this date set and I need to be ready for this date, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
But the thing is now, when you're getting older now, your body can't push like you used to push.
Yeah.
You work smarter.
You got to work smarter, But you want to work smarter to the point where it's the emotions, the emotions, the physical emotions, the spiritual emotions. In fact, what is from before to now is that I'm more in a spiritual walk. I believe everything I do is in Christ.
Yes.
And what it is, by giving my life to Christ last year, it's just that I do everything for him, and everything I give to him, he receives back. I receive back. And the thing is that the thing about bodybuilding today, it does have its dark sides.
Yeah.
And the thing is that when that dark side hits to me and my faith starts to get away, that means through my prayer, through my reading, when I'm teaching my kids in Sunday school, when I'm teaching Bible study, and I feel that if I'm not in the room, but I'm physically there, then that's a problem.
Yeah.
And that's honestly where it's really hard to say it though, but it's hard to tell certain people that that's where a little bit where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
Because
I understand.
You feel that the first 3 shows, God was right with you. Then it's just like he's telling you, like, hold up, my son. You're starting to steer off right now.
Yeah.
Like your prayers are starting to go right or left. Your teaching starts to, stir away. But it
almost sounds like you're in a season of like, what am I supposed to learn from this?
Yes,
I feel that a lot. What am I supposed to learn from this hardship?
And actually, you know what, Kevin, that is actually the question I wanted to ask some people when I was talking to them and getting advice. Is you run through the gauntlet so much, and you always hear, but you want to be here.
Right.
Yeah.
But can nobody really give you the answer on what you need to do to get here, or how far do I need to go, or what plan or direction? And this is one thing I look for in a coach. If you ask me, what do I look for in a coach coaching you as a trainer? I'm looking for guidance. I'm looking to be educated. And the thing is, what social media has messed up today is that you can see anybody you want on social media.
Yeah.
Any athlete, anything, and it takes their coaching to see, okay, to base it off this guy here, what you shouldn't do.
Yeah.
Your job is to actually make this guy the best version of him.
Yeah.
Right.
To be set for that and get him set for that stage. Not to say, okay, if he don't look like, say for instance, Aaron Banks, then you can pull back off him because he's not pushing hard to look like him. Well, I'm never going to look like him. I'm sorry.
You're not him.
I'm not him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but that's where it puts that mental health in you. It's like, I'm never going to look like him. Why am I doing this? To the point where that it's hard to hold that drive together.
Yeah.
Sure.
And you ask God why, but sometimes you can't take certain blessings to that because you're starting to get that mixed spiritual feeling where that why I'm trusting in Him and I'm supposed to be trusting more than God to do what I need to do. Because
I feel like one of the things that I experienced post athletics was, and what I'm kind of hearing you say here is like we're always in pursuit of being at the top of the mountain.
Yes.
And when we're not at the top of the mountain, we almost see it as failure.
Yes.
And so, like, one of the things Jason and I dive a lot into, we're talking to this group of guys, and again, these are just everyday normal dudes that each day I should be in it's my top of the mountain.
Yeah.
It's my pursuit of being in the top of what I can be. But when you're in a sport, you're competing. You're going up
there's
against.
A ladder.
Yeah, there's truly a ladder. And, of course, bodybuilding we know is political in nature, but it's hard not to look at those guys to the left and right and compare because it's the nature of the beast.
The sport is literally
it's
comparison.
Truly that. It's truly comparison. So when it's like, I'll use myself, right? For years after baseball, I felt like a failure. I played Division I baseball. I blew my elbow out. I had surgery. Didn't go at all how I hoped or wanted, and I saw it as I was an epic failure at that level. However, if you look at the stats, like I was, at a high enough level that the vast majority of people can't say that they did that. Mm-hmm. But in my mind, I failed, right? And it wasn't failure, but it felt that way. So for many years, like I struggled to I was almost, I don't want to say embarrassed about playing ball, but I didn't want anything to do with baseball for a long time because it just didn't go how I wanted. I was angry at it. And so I struggled to process that failure in my mind, that failure that it was, but it wasn't. It wasn't a failure.
It's funny that purpose in what you do. So for you is you found bodybuilding as around 26, right?
Yes.
About 26 years old,
26, 27, yeah.
And you went into bodybuilding for a number of years, seeing it as this. You actually have a very pure story for bodybuilding because most people who do bodybuilding mine was I started going to the gym to play better rugby. But at the time that I went to the gym, I loved the gym so much that rugby became the second one. And then I found bodybuilding magazines and I want to look like that and I want to try and get to that level, right? And what I've always found and what's where we talk about balance, and in everything you said, what you have a really good handle on, which I find misses in bodybuilding, is balance. Because it can very easily become this very dark thing where I'm only focused on that and you forget all the things that are around you or the reason. Now, you have a very genuine love of what you can do with your physique and you've taken it to an extreme level and no one can take away that you're a pro and you're a competitive pro. However, at the same time, you have very strong spirituality. At the same time, you have very strong mental health and mental wellness that you keep trying to keep in check. You're never allowing the sport of bodybuilding to override your mental health. So that's always this balance that you're consistently balancing between, which makes you an anomaly in what you're doing. Because the concept of being the absolute best at anything requires you to overly focus and lose balance. But it costs you. Now, in my opinion, right, knowing what the sport of bodybuilding is, and we'll dive into that, is bodybuilding is a superficial sport that requires someone to judge not your ability but how you look. No different to a woman who walks into a beauty contest or someone who's being judged on what they look. Now, no one can take away the amount of work you put in to get there. So your physique is 1% of the 1%. What you do with that is, when you go and win, is as you said, is I'm asking who can give me advice. Is I'm here, but I want to get there. No one can tell me how to get there. However, in your own atonement, your connection with God has told you that may not be His plan for you.
Exactly.
Right, that may not be His plan. And I think you have more influence in your journey of how you've done this. Because one is, if you competed in NPC and placed natural, you are an anomaly physically. Let's be honest. The sport of bodybuilding is driven by drugs. Way more now than it ever was. Mm-hmm. Because we have access to it, we understand it. You can find stacks that are run by any pro bodybuilder right now on the internet. And it can just be replicated.
Yeah, it's very open.
So you must know that, it's like Ronnie Coleman. Ronnie Coleman was on an Olympia stage natural. Before he started everything, he was a pro, right? The fact that you got that far already makes you the 1% of the 1% of the 1%.
Exactly.
So your spirituality and what you carry actually holds more weight than anything, in my opinion, whatever you will ever do in bodybuilding. It only makes you stronger for everything else that you do. That's actually to me. I'm seeing a human being that has extreme. The fact that you go to church and you help children, you help people. That is actually what your purpose is. And help.
And the thing is that, I spend my time at home. I literally watch a lot of vlogs. And I actually enjoy doing it. I look at other bodybuilders and their lifestyle outside of here. Mm-hmm. One thing I can say about Derek, I really haven't questioned it. I haven't really questioned it because it's just me more deep in my faith is how he has his faith. Mm-hmm. But the question is the difference between, is that for camera?
Yeah,
or is that the truth?
Does he live that?
You know what I mean?
I know.
Now, the thing is with me is that what I tell a lot of women I meet or people, they don't know that I'm a youth leader. Nobody knows that.
Yeah.
Everybody but just what they see on social media and see that. And the thing is, after I did very well at the Florida Pro September 6th, I took my medals, I took them to church on Sunday, and I took them to the kids. That was the most enjoyable day. I actually posted about it, and I said I do this for them. And the thing about it, they call me their Superman. They look at me with just like, I'm just not a leader just to be here to watch kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just that they look up to you is because you do it for us and you here for a reason. And that's one thing I give, because the thing is that I'm the oldest of 5. I'm the only one in my family that doesn't have kids or haven't been married. That's just God's plan right now.
Yeah.
One day I've hard to find a wife and then I have kids. But right now I don't. So it's just the mental state. It's just that because my mom and my dad was married for 38 years before he passed away. And the thing is that my father mentality is stuck in me. Mm-hmm. So when I teach 11 kids, I call them my kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because the thing is, they look at me, it's like he's more than just a leader. He's our mentor. He's a father mentor. Because the one thing at Radiant, there's a lot of homeschool kids and a lot of single parent households. And the thing is that those kids, when they come in there, it's like that's their day. Yeah. That's their life. And the thing is that when you see that and you show them that you want to be wanted, because honestly, the directors and the people who've been there long term really had doubts until they saw me. It was like, wow, Cordell, you really are passionate about it. You realize, well, one, my mom was a teacher for 35 years, mm-hmm. a school teacher for 35 years, and I'm the oldest of 5. But the thing is that I see one day when I have a son or a daughter, mm-hmm. I can grasp them and lead them the right way.
Yeah.
And the thing,
I think it's important for children to have positive influence by other than their parents.
Yeah, exactly.
And young boys, especially today, need influence from like Jason's around my kids. Not a ton, but they know him.
Yeah.
Like they need other male influence. It can't just be me. Like it's important that they see how men are supposed to act. They need to see that positive reinforcement.
They have to, because if not,
the ones that don't have it, as far as dads in the household, that's huge when you get that elsewhere.
Yeah, because what it is that we're trouble with social media today in the outside world. And the one thing is that I teach my youth is you have to protect your faith. They're scared to speak out about it because they're worried about what the man to the left or what the man to the right say, or the ones that go to public schools are worried about what the kids do. So they're just saying things to you to say things to you like you're their teachers at school. Yeah. And I tell them, like, no, I'm not. I'm your big brother. I'm your leader. I'm the ones that's going to help you, guide you, make you feel safe. Why? Because this is community. Yeah. And this is why Radiant is my home. Because I was in a very dark place when I moved here. And the thing about it with bodybuilding, one thing I can say about bodybuilding, if I wasn't in bodybuilding today, I would not know where I'll be at right now.
It saved your life.
internally. And the reason why I say that, and I tell my mom that too, because after college, when I didn't feel I was not going to make it to the Olympics, or when I didn't have it was hard trying to, because after college they said, you can get this 6-figure job here.
Yeah, right.
No, life hit.
Yeah.
Then you look like my degree was like, like I say, okay, I got a business administration degree, but that's broad.
Yeah.
You're not going to get nowhere with business administration.
I feel like I have a similar story to you.
You know what I'm saying? They say, oh yeah, go to grad school here. Yeah, I went to grad school, got my hospitality, great. So I did 10 years in the restaurant industry. And when I was in the restaurant industry, that's when I actually was starting to compete.
Really?
Wow.
Now, the crazy thing about it is, because it's the natural league. Now, one thing about being in the natural league is that you can eat whatever you want, and you'll just still be looking like you everything. But the thing was let's say, for instance, with this sports medicine degree.
Yeah.
The rumor when I was in college was, you ain't gonna get no job, you ain't gonna make no money. If I saw the guys who ran track and who went and got that degree, I would tell them today, I'm sorry I laughed about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry I talked about it. I'm making more money. I'm making almost $100,000 a year doing this. If I did this 10 years ago, or maybe doing it and getting my degree, I wouldn't worry about trying to rush and get a cert every 2 years. Because it's like, it's one of them passions. It's like you building a business, but you building a business for your structure. And when people come to you, they have come to you for advice. And the thing about it, it's about a job that people don't really understand. This is why I talk to new trainers about this. I mentor new trainers. I say your image is everything.
Yes.
One thing about the reason I've been with LA Fitness for 9 years, that's unheard of as a trainer, is because the fact that my image, my personality ties into the culture of LA Fitness. And the reason why is this, because the fact that one, those people in there, like you said before, want to look like me to sit on the beach.
Right.
Okay. Their wives or the women come in and say, I'm going to trust this man right here to get me in shape.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, the thing is, I tell everybody will be like, let's go get a NASM. Let's go get a NASM. Okay. You can get a $1,700 certificate, but I don't mean you know anything.
Right.
This is true.
It's very good.
You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot
like
of
I said, I'm an ISSA master trainer, but the thing about it took me years to develop to where I came from. My first 3 years at LA Fitness, my director at Atlantic Beach in Jacksonville, Florida, had a pole stuck up my ass for 3 years.
Yeah.
And I told him before I moved away from Jacksonville, I said, I thank you for making me the trainer I am now. Because it took me a while to realize, like, this is your business. It's just like when a client want to quit, a client want to do that, that's money out of your pocket that's leaving. Or you got to realize is when you have a retention rate for so many years, for 4 years or more. I still have clients today from Jacksonville online that I had for about the past 9 years. Because they trust to stay with me than go with anybody else. It's about building a rapport, saying, look, you rock for me, I'm gonna rock for you. But if we want to build this thing together, you have to trust the process. And they have done that. And the thing is, I can work from an old lady with a kickstand to a young infant. It's just, the thing is just like communication is everything. And that's how, if you want to go anywhere in this world, you have to believe and trust in yourself. Like, okay, I'm going to get the job done.
I'm curious your take on something, with the guys that we have, everyday dudes, right? We've said this a couple times, but basically, I lived at one point in time when I was in corporate. I worked, crazy long days, back-to-back calls, busy. I was in a director level job, and I remember I have a friend who's a former Navy SEAL and another friend that was still in the military. And I would show them my schedule and say, I want to train, I want to work out, but I don't, tell me where I would do it, right? And so it was ultimately me making an excuse and not prioritizing it. I could have found time somewhere. It was tough, to be fair. There was a crazy schedule. But with the clients you've trained over the years, I'm sure you've seen plenty of men come to you that are like, I got to make a change. I got to fit it in. Like, what would you say to these clients or anybody that's listening on how to make fitness and your health a priority, and why it's so important?
Well, what I do is for the dads. I tell them it's just that if you want to see your daughter hit 27, you want to help. Like I said, I use my dad as a scenario. My dad died at 60. Okay, my dad died at 60, and he didn't see my baby brother graduate college, and the last thing he did was walk my sister down the aisle, the sister underneath me, down the aisle to get married.
Yeah,
but hasn't been there seen nobody else yet because he's in heaven. But the thing is what I tell these guys about motivation. You can't teach motivation. That has to be something within. If you're tired of catching breath, you're tired of your wife not touching you or feeling some type of way, sexual feelings towards you, you feel that, you're getting tired over your kids, basically saying you feel like your mental state is not present and from your family, you feel that, to me, everybody think the world is busy. That's the one thing. Okay, so guess what here? I tell everybody like this. All right, so you have 24 hours to make a decision. Okay, are you gonna pick your health to fix in 24 hours, or you gonna do something on that bucket list? Okay, the doctor's gonna say which one are you gonna choose. Okay, if you choose this, you might have that. You might save yourself.
Yeah.
Or you just want to live that moment in a lifetime, go do something else. Because right now I came from a city where that is one of the largest obesity cities in the world, and that's Dallas, Texas. Okay, the most healthiest people. Okay, those people rather, keep their high cholesterol, go ahead and give up, go drink and do this. They'd rather go ahead and say, look, I'm gonna call out today, I'm gonna go drink tomorrow, and every day they come in. Why am I always still stuck at number one? Because your habits never change.
Yeah.
The thing is that you understand in life, it's just that for you to go anywhere further, you have to change your old habits. What I tell everybody is take what you didn't do yesterday into what you did now.
Yeah.
Okay? You haven't done one single push-up. You haven't sweated as much. You haven't caught your breath. You haven't felt like a man today because you never sweated like this before. Okay, now before you complained and you felt like that you never could get in, but you came into the gym 3 days in a row. Now I take that to my clients and say that's 100 in my book.
Yeah,
3 days in a row. Now this is not with me. 3 days in a row, and you never came not one day in 7 years. You look at things like that. You look at yourself and your wife touching you somewhere you never get touched in 5 years, and you say to myself like, oh, I think I need to make a change. One thing that happened to me a couple weeks ago, my baby brother gave me a call on FaceTime, was working out. So I told him, I said, little man, so after 8 years, now you're willing to call and ask for my help. Because, he has a child. He travels for work a lot. Now he's 6'2" if he stands up straight, but 85 pounds. 170, 80 pounds, right? So he's a tall string bean. But the thing is that he eats bad. Yeah, that's why he don't gain any weight or muscle. But if you get his blood work tested, it's all the scale is off.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, man, I need to work out. I said, well, yeah. And the first thing I said to him, brother, I said, look, bro, you have a daughter, bro. Now, and one thing about my dad was he started actual late, but he did it for us. He started working out a lot when he was at 45. I can remember this day when I was young. He got a membership. My mom was a little bit upset because he was always at the gym. Yeah. But he said, because that 1 year we all were doing sports, and he said, I want to make it to I need to keep up to all my kids' games and stuff. You know what I mean? And I've seen a lot today with males today, man, that they don't understand that fitness and your health, it should be a religion to you.
Totally.
Do you ever realize it's just that when I sit here and I hear these guys at the gym want to cancel memberships, and the first thing they say is, I don't have time. If I take your life away tomorrow, would you accept that?
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't accept, obviously.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You'd rather die tomorrow instead of saving your life. But the thing about it, it's just because I'm so passionate about it. You know, they'd rather go sit at the bar. They'd rather just continue to smoke.
Yeah.
They'd rather continue this. I told one guy, I said, when are you going to change? This guy said he canceled his training with me because he said, I don't have any time no more. Well, you just complained about you feel like every day you're starting at square one. Yeah. So why did you cancel? I don't believe it's financial. Because the whole state of Florida is going up. So it's not financially. You work, so you have a job to pay for it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's so easy to quit today.
Yeah.
The generation is so easy to quit today. And the thing about men, this is one thing that is crazy about men today. They got all the money in the world, but you know what? Instead of going to the gym, the unhealthy men with all the money, you know what they do today, right? They go get themselves a young girl and think they doing something. Oh, it's in LA Fitness all day long. And I'm going to say that, I'm completely and I'm honest. You got all that money in the world, but you won't get trained. But you'll get her training, but you won't get trained. Yeah. But every day you come in, your stomach is more inches than it was before. Because they don't want to change their bad habit. They feel that, I have all the money in the world. See, that's the new testosterone rate. You knew that, right? You know that? That's the new testosterone. It's about how much money you got.
Yeah.
But it's not. But when you see a guy like me, and I'm doing this and doing that, you get intimidated because, no, I'm not, my bank is not like you, but my physique is. But you feel that, my lady's not going to go with you because I have more money in me. But guess what, though? But you get a heart attack and you fall out tomorrow. Or she leaves you because she said, I'm just not attracted to you no more. You know? Well, maybe if you actually work out or invest in something else like your health, maybe she might invest in you more. They don't look at that.
No.
Because they come in when they with their significant other and they get so close and tight because this is like they come in an environment where that, I'm not going to look at what she might want.
Yeah.
What did change? Why not? I'm single. But the thing about it, I don't look for women in my industry. I look for somebody that's want to be equally yoked. That's me. Because that's where the other mental part comes in. People don't understand. Is that your partner is to be somebody in your backbone, in your partner, to help you grow. That's one thing about it. As they say in the Bible, it's just that, men are not supposed to be living alone, right? But the thing is, how do you take that and diverse that, right? I'd rather live alone without stress, but what men can stay further living alone because you're at peace. It took me 7 years to find peace in my life. And that's with all the relationships I have. And before I can find another significant other in my life, she has to understand my peace and she got to be part of my peace and growth. That's part of men's mental health. We don't have peace in our hearts no more. We don't have peace in our soul tomorrow. We have other ways to get peace. Right now, I'm a year and 6 months sober.
Good for you.
And I don't tend to go back.
Good for you.
And because that is not my escape route. The gym is my escape route. Okay. Being around community is my escape route. Because the thing is, the reason why, I had a bad mental health. This is why I left Dallas, Texas. Because my mental health was bad. So I had packed up and left and I came back to Florida. Because I felt that I was going to be happy more back in Florida. It took me a year to find happiness, but I found happiness once I got saved again. Because you're in an environment where that's the norm. The norm is we go to the bar, we drink, whatever, boom, cool. But that wasn't getting me nowhere, Which,
if I can jump in on the drinking thing, I noticed, my primary business being in the mortgage world, lending world, there'd be after-hour events. Oftentimes, corporate was the same way. When I was in a corporate gig, you go to a regional meeting after the day, you go to the bar. And to me, it's like the empty fulfillment that comes from that, it's not there. There's nothing productive coming from that, and it's, never mind just the health and heart risk, all that kind of stuff. But it's a cultural thing. I think across the board, it's a cultural thing. You talked about the new currency being money, or the new the new testosterone. That's how you said it with the being money. Like, I also think you see a group of men that are just going to sit at the bar after work and not going home to their families. And not going home and making that a priority. So what happened, and I know 2 guys directly, for years on end, they sat at the bars, they drank themselves, overweight, out of shape, health issues, you name it, both wound up divorced, because they made the bar the priority.
Yeah.
Instead of making their, personal self. Like, and to me, like, men pursuing being better involves, like, leading at home, being a good man. And listen, like, some of the things
you're on the same page as us. Like, we're
all the things you
and everything you said, right? Because
I was loving it.
We believe in balance. We believe that for men to be strong, you have to make the hard choice, and the hard choices is doing the things you don't want to do. That's discipline.
Yes.
Right. That's where you choose to do the things that are hard, because it's choosing the hard things now to have the good life later, instead of choosing the easy things now and a hard life later. Health is 100% that. And what you said resonates is because specifically on alcohol, right? Alcohol is a vice that allows you to escape from your reality.
Yeah.
And we truly believe that in order to be a true man and really embrace the world, you have to embrace community, you have to embrace balance, you have to embrace spirituality, you have to, and we prioritize health and fitness because I believe that's the segue to the rest. That'll open up your brain, because men, we need to work, you need to use your body every single day.
I gotta jump in on something. Like, when we had that meeting this morning at a local restaurant, I do think there was a disability with the child, but I saw an obese child sitting right behind us. You may not have seen him.
No, I didn't.
But the parents sitting there feeding them pancakes and all the crap that is contributing to the obesity. And it kills me to see children that are overweight. My daughter has friends that are obese, and they're 9 years old. And it's sad to me. And that's a parental thing.
Yeah.
It's a leadership thing. Like, Jason and I have talked about this a lot in our household. Like, I grew up in a house where, like, my parents didn't know the first thing about health and wellness. They didn't know the first thing about nutrition. Their idea of eating eating healthier was just get, a burger without fries or chicken tenders. It was like very unhealthy environment, right? Yeah. But in today's world that we live in, you have AI, you have ChatGPT. There's trainers. There's so many people around.
Access to information.
I mean, Sam, like, there's a group of moms that she has in a text thread that she has volunteered many a times to them. Hey, if you want some help with your, meal plans, whatever, I'm here for you. Free and nobody takes care about it.
And speaking of that, my business, I'm really actually going to dive into this. I really are going to try to push my private business out to the church. And the reason why is because my business is Team Waddey Strong Health and Fitness, but it's more of faith and fitness.
Yes.
Okay. It's Team Waddey Strong Faith and Fitness. And I really haven't pushed it out a lot right now, is because of the fact that it's so much clout out here where everybody thinks they can be a trainer.
Sure.
Everybody. For some reason, everybody wants to be one, which it sets me back, because I'm just going to sit here and watch every last person that thinks that just because they have somewhat of a following, you think you know what you're doing.
Right.
But when I look at it, be like, I would never ever have let you work with me. Okay. And the thing is that it's just, I think that's just more of me and my growth. It's just that when you put faith in fitness, what is your faith in fitness? And it's just like what Jason was talking about. It's just supposed to have that balance in, like, okay, you can look well, but if you don't have that spiritual walk,
I agree.
How's that going to be? You got a spiritual walk like they have at church, but they're not healthy. And I tell everybody at church when I see them, and I say, look, do you realize that if you have that physical walk with that spiritual walk you had, you'll be a powerful person? And this is why everyone looks at me thinking, like, he loves the Lord, he knows about the Lord, he teaches the word of God, and he looks good. And I told him, I'm the armor of God. Mm. And that's what drives me, because exactly. And this is what I wanted the men in church to do, but they're so stubborn to the point where they're afraid to change their bad habits.
Yeah.
Because bad habits are comfortable. Bad habits make me feel
easy.
good.
It's
a
easy.
Quick dopamine hit. But when you're trying to exchange those two, as I talk to our group consistently about everything I do, everything. I look at it from a perspective is, do I get a net benefit or do I get a net negative benefit, right? So is it negative or is it positive, right? So alcohol, when you drink it, tastes great, right? Makes me feel good, breaks down some of those barriers you believe that you have. And again, if you're doing it because you believe it if you drink alcohol and it takes away the pain, the things you have to deal with, I understand, but that's not going to solve the problem. That's the same as taking medication for everything. Medication is not solving the root cause. If it's not giving you a net benefit, it's giving you a net negative. And that net negative with when it comes to alcohol is, I drink it, maybe I have a good time, but then I wake up and I have a headache. My body doesn't feel good. I'm dehydrated. That's just what you feel. Your body, your liver is not going to function properly for 2 weeks. Your kidneys are not going to function properly for 6 days. Which means that if you are someone who works out and you go, now what I'm doing is I've literally taken all my progress and I've killed it in one evening, and now I'm going to take 2 weeks to recover. So it's 2 weeks that I now have to revamp. And you don't always see it physically, but it affects you mentally. And I've got a question for you. So my personal belief is I've been training, I'll have trained for 30 years consistently next year. If you have fitness, I have found the people that maintain fitness and mental health, because fitness, you can't be fit if you don't have some good mentality, right? The key to keeping that for a lifetime is faith. Spirituality and faith. If you do not take that spirituality and faith and find the reason of why you have the fitness and mental health, and you don't apply faith to it, always I find those people fail, and then they revert back to being into bad habits, getting overweight, getting into alcohol, getting into all the things going. Because when you can't take faith, when I stopped competing, and because it's a difficult, and Kevin's gone through this, right? You have the goal set. In your particular case, is you're a pro, so your goal set is you've earned the pro card. Now your goal is to become the best pro you can be, and hopefully win that major, qualify for the Olympia, hopefully win the Olympia. Let's not guess here. If you, as far as you've gotten, you don't enter a contest without the mentality that you're going to win it. Because if you did, you would never win anything. You have to. Okay, so great. One day, when you decide I'm not competing anymore, what's going to keep you training is your faith. Because there's no goal anymore. So now it's, why do I train? Because I want to be the best version of myself. I want to feel good. I carry the receipts of the hard work I've done. The only thing that's going to take you and keep you doing that is faith. Because if you don't have faith and you stop, you will immediately fall flat.
Yes.
You cannot continue. Faith is the only thing that keeps you going. Have you seen that? And have you seen this with people? Because you're around a lot, right?
I've seen that a lot with. You gotta realize, man, I have the highest retention rate in the whole city of Tampa Bay. And the thing is that I see this all the time. And the thing is that the first thing they say is, "Yo, man, how can I get like you? Man, I just need to get started. Man, I just try to figure out how can I get back into it." Easy. You're talking to one of a successful trainer in front of you, but they feel that everything costs today.
Yeah.
Well, which it does, but it doesn't cost to ask.
Yeah.
Okay. But when I hear that out of the corner of my ear every time, I say, you sit here and stalk me on social media, but you still have giving the same attitude you have for the past 3 weeks. So how long is it? You rather for me to tell you, you want the doctor to tell you?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, I think like one of the things that I don't want to get into all this, but like I'll just share one of the things. I'll tell this story. Like I had a little bit of a rock bottom that caused me to get my ass in gear to get back into shape, right? And one of the stories that I'll share is a friend of ours. Sam and I were taking a trip somewhere. I had just started to kind of get back into working out. I had left corporate. I was no longer doing that. I was able to have more time on my hands, if you will, and I was able to make it a priority. But there was a family that lost a child in a fire. I thought about our house. We live in a 2-story house. The top of the stairs, the girls are to the left, and my son's rooms to the left, and then our bedroom's to the right. I'm a light sleeper, and what played out in my head was, if I woke up to a fire in our house, and I had one opportunity to carry my family down the stairs. My wife's passed out. My kids are asleep. and I had to get them all down, could I carry all of them out of the house?
Are you capable?
Am I capable of doing that? And I had to answer that question to myself honestly at that time. And Jason knows my knees were awful. I was a catcher, military. I couldn't do an unsupported squat. When I met Jason, I could not do an unsupported squat with no weight at all. Like I literally had to hold on. My knees were that bad. So I had to be honest with myself and go, I couldn't do it. And I thought about that family that lost the child in the fire. And I don't know the story of what happened. I don't know the details of that. But in my head, I was like, well, what if that dad had to decide which one he took out and one perished because he couldn't get back in? And so that just really weighed on me to go, am I capable? You know, and then never mind, like all the other things you were talking earlier too is very relevant. Like your wife doesn't, you know, want to look at you anymore, or, you know, all that stuff, right? That's all very real.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, I don't know what a session costs to train with you, but let's say a session's $100, but they'll go spend $100 at the bar every week, but they can't justify the session with the trainer. Yeah. They can justify all these other expenses, but they can't justify getting their blood work done to get on TRT. Mm-hmm. I mean, who knows
it's crazy
stories
when
too.
You speak about that TRT.
Guys are so against it.
It's crazy how many people come to the gym today and sign up for training and don't realize they only never had blood work and don't even know where the testosterone is. I had one guy got his test tested for the first time, and he's 35. His test was at 232.
That was 211 when I started.
And funny you say that, right? Because I have preached this on this podcast every time: is your testosterone levels, mine, Kevin's, naturally is. Right now, every year, half of what your grandfather's was at the same age.
Yeah.
Right. This is just what happening. This is the world we live in. The amount of electronics, contamination in food, poisons in the air. All of it affects us. Your sedentary lifestyle affects us. And I've heard of a 23-year-old who had testosterone at 200. I've heard of a 30-year-old, a 35-year-old, and we're not even talking into the 40s, right?
Yeah.
And the simplest fix is, first of all, yes, TRT is great, but if you simply just fix your diet. Just your diet.
Exactly.
Just your diet.
And they said that even if you reduce your alcohol content for 30 days, your tests will go up.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, and the crazy thing is how the world is today. It's not even about the bad eating. It's the drinking.
Yeah.
That is
I think it is because I'm sober now. And
we are too, for what that's worth. Like Jason's never really drank.
Never.
I'm coming up on 2 years. I'm over 2 years of like truly consuming. I had a single beer on Christmas 2 years ago, so we're in the same boat. Where we see it completely different.
And the reason why I had stopped because I was dating a lady that had 4 kids, and I really stopped because it was the fact that I looked at it that. If I'm going to be a leader for her and her kids, then I don't need to be coming in so drunk. I don't need to be tipsy, slurving at the mouth, and the other. I don't want to see my babies, in the time to call my babies, but see me looking like that. So that's why I never touched it. Even now, on Saturday nights, I don't, because it's a priority that my routine is that I get up and get ready to go teach Sunday school.
Yeah.
But it doesn't serve you. That's the thing. Like for me,
it's a misconception, man.
It's a mask.
It doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't make, like, even though you think you need it, that was some of my problem in social environments. I felt like I needed it to relax, to be myself. The reality was I didn't. I told myself that. But then if you break down, like when you're trying to achieve things and make your body change and do things with your health, the alcohol doesn't serve any purpose. There's no value to it.
No.
I love a good beer. It tastes great.
Yeah.
But I also noticed that my body didn't respond well to the yeast, and I would feel bloated, lethargic. Even from a single beer.
Yeah.
So I was like, if I felt like that from a single beer, why am I doing this?
It's a societal insecurity because men suffer. Majority of men, our anger stems from insecurity, not feeling like we're good enough, not feeling like we're diving into our purpose.
Yeah.
Alcohol, by the mere fact that it poisons your body, it gives you that it subdues your consciousness.
Yeah.
Right. And you don't feel those feelings anymore because it kind of makes it numb, and it becomes a coping mechanism. But the root cause of what's happening to us, right, is you may be in the more lucky state where, like you found fitness and training. I found the same thing. Kevin's on the same path with the fitness, and you realize that it gives me way more than a glass of alcohol will ever give me. Mm-hmm. But most people going down that road, the mere thought of having to give up something that they perceive to be so important in their everyday life, right? We have people we know personally, and every conversation is about when's the next drink coming, what's the next drink, when can I have a beer, when can I do this, and you know when you speak to these people and you realize that they take a fistful of pills every single day.
Yep.
To manage cholesterol, to manage every type of problem, and you're like, all you have to do is stop drinking alcohol, fix your diet, and go to the gym. Your life will dramatically improve within 2 weeks. Yeah. 2 weeks, and you will not recognize what you can do. The 2 weeks is not going to be fun. It's not going to be comfortable. We're the 30 days that we're doing with our group, right? The 30 days is designed to get you past the first 3 days. Your metabolism is going to recover and start changing in 3 days, and then in 5 days your body's going to go, okay, now I can do this, and then in 10 days you're going to start craving. But by the time you hit 14 days, right, you're in a routine. By the time you hit 21 days, you've now hit a habit. By the time you hit 30 days, this is lifestyle. Now you know how to do it, and you don't have to go back. But how difficult is it? And you would give us, and I'd love your insight on this. How difficult is it to take someone, they tell you, I want to change, I want to be better, I want to look like you, I want these things, but they just cannot make the simplest decision of leaving the easiest thing. Change your diet, change your habits, change your alcohol, change what you do to achieve the results. It is the most frustrating thing when you know the answer for everybody and they have to figure it out for themselves.
Yeah, and the thing is that a lot of clients want more for nothing.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of them. And the thing is, if they can pay you to do it for them, feed them, lose the weight for them, that they will do that in this world. But the thing is that technology and, again, social media has ChatGPT has made the world so easy for people not to think anymore.
Yeah.
And they will look it up and be like, oh, I see her taking Ozempic, I'm gonna take Ozempic. I got one lady saying, oh yeah, I can't wait till my contract ends in December, I'm gonna go ahead and get on Ozempic. I'm like, why? You're still not gonna be able to walk up the stairs.
Yeah. Also, and again,
the thing is this, right? You signed up for a reason. Okay. I break everything down to these clients. I don't sign them up for training. I got a director do that. When they come to me, I speak the reality to them. I said, first of all, I understand that, okay, but the thing is you spend all this money for 3 times a week. What do you expect to get in 3 times a week for 25 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when you come in and you want to half-ass, you're looking for a friend, you're looking to just think you can do what you want to do, you know you're not going to change, right? So when you step on that scale, you say to me, nothing, I have no results on the change. So let's ask this one question. When I tell you to do this or do this and you give me an attitude because you don't want to do it, whose fault is that? I tell everyone, before you come at the coach, let's find out what you have done.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what's missing is accountability, like self-accountability. We talk a lot about that, where it's like, you know, things that go wrong in your world, like it's easy to point fingers.
Oh yeah.
But I'm responsible for everything.
Yeah, I had to take a reality check myself 2 weeks ago. You know, I dropped the ball at the show. It was real hard for me to admit that to my coach, because you had to sit and think is that if you're going to preach this to your clients, you got to preach to yourself. One thing about the sport of bodybuilding, you will be all in or you're not going to do it.
100%.
Period. Because you can't lie. Because 1, it will show on stage. 2, you make your coach look like a fool. And your coach knows if he's smart enough.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is that was my show. You know, I did a lot of actions which I always preached about not doing, and I did. And I had suffered for it, and I had to admit, because my emotions got the best of me and wanted to point the finger, and no reason the biggest point was me. And to understand that, it can tell others is that before you say anything, what effort are you putting in?
Yeah.
Time is not it, because at the end of the day, there's 24 hours in a day. you can make time and effort. Because one thing I can say about a lot of these people in their fitness journeys, you have people that drive hours to the gym. For a workout because they love that gym. Not the person's in there. They love that gym. It's like Champs Lyceum. People drive to Champs Lyceum and got a membership. And they live in Brandon. They live in Riverview. And they drive to Champs Lyceum. They live in Sarasota. They drive into Champs Lyceum because they love that gym. So what they going to do? Drive that gym so they can get the best workout and the best effort. You live 2 miles up the road. And you can't even get your ass in the gym. Why am I begging you to? And I tell these clients this thing, right? So my lifestyle is this, right? I get up every day at 3:30 in the morning. You're not your average bodybuilder. I don't have online clients. I have online clients, but I don't have a billion online clients that pay my bills. I still have to get up and go to work in the morning. I have to cook my own meals. I don't have a wife. I don't have a girlfriend at home. I have to cook and do all that myself. Okay? So if I don't show up to the gym, then that's money out of my pocket that I don't have. And that's disrespectful to you because as a business owner and I don't show up, boom. But when they don't show up or don't call, it's like, okay, cool. But the thing is this, if I don't show up for a workout, if I don't eat my meals, I won't have the best result. But the thing is that you look at it, it's the opposite way around. Well, if I don't show up and I don't get the results, I'm still going to blame the coach because that's what I paid for him to do. No, you don't pay for me this. You paid me to guide you.
That's
for the best result. But the thing is, if you don't take the guidance, you don't take the accountability, you're the only one to blame. So the question is today in the world is, why is it so hard for us to point fingers now?
Well, I think you make a good point there. It's easy to blame someone else for what's happening. I mean, you mentioned your bodybuilding journey. Now, I'm going to lay some things out just from my experience in bodybuilding, and I'd like your take on it. So, Cordell's preparing for a contest. If he gets on the day that he gets on stage, so contest day, there's a lot of things that can go wrong that, to be fair, has got nothing to do with Cordell, right? You can miss your water timing, right? And you might have timed it correctly, but your body didn't respond. So you can miss your water timing. You can miss the way that you apply your oil, your tan, whatever you've got to do. You can miss that up, right? It happens all the time. You can, for whatever happened is, you can drive your cortisol levels through stress through the roof, and you retain a little bit of water and just slightly off, and that may cost you the contest. But ultimately, when you step on that stage, you know deep down inside you if you've done everything that you can do and supposed to do to get there. And then by the time you step on stage, there's nothing you can do. There's judges that are going to decide if you're going to win or not. You may be standing, and there's certain nuances. And here's the thing is, when you get to your level as a pro, the differences between number 1, sometimes even up to number 10, are so minimal that an average person doesn't have a clue why that person won and that person lost. You're up against the best in the world. I don't think people can realize how difficult pro bodybuilding is. You get paid nothing for what you do. No. You're considered the best in the world, but it means nothing on paper. You know, a guy who plays baseball can be 700th in the world, and he probably makes 50 times what all of us make. The pro, you're doing it purely because you love it. Your passion for it is the love. Now, my question to you is, I found my love for bodybuilding was the process. The being able to manipulate my body, changing my food and seeing how my body responds, getting that effort and that pump and that feeling that you get from those workouts every day, being able to put that work behind you and find a result. From what you've said is, the contest is the end result, and obviously you want to do the best you can, but it meant more to you to take those medals to those kids than it did winning the trophy of the night. Exactly. So your passion for this is true, and I think that's what I'm trying to get through to people that I speak to is, you have to find your reason why, your passion of why you want to work out. There's no excuse.
It's again, I'm coming into like my 8th to 9th season of bodybuilding, and I have to have a reason. I text my siblings and I tell them that the day before the show, I always tell them that Uncle's going on stage to get the diaper money. So that just motivates me. I have something to look forward to. You know, when I won my first check this season, you know, at the Sarasota Pro, it was one of the happiest day for me, because it was just like, okay, you know, I told my babies I was gonna get them the diaper money, you know, and I got them the diaper money, you know.
That's great.
And you know, you got to have that power, because again, this is my first season that I don't have a significant other. I've been traveling alone. I've been living alone, which you know, in that case, when I'm saying that, it's just that I'm living alone because I don't have a partner, who with me. So it's one of the things that you have other things you got to look forward to, that motivates you, that keeps you at peace, it keeps you grounded, keeps you anchored, and this is what you have to look forward to. And that's the thing about it, when we're going about this topic, why people don't want to accept accountability, because they look at it, they don't have nothing to look forward. One guy said, man, I just don't understand how you come to the gym every day and stuff. Well, bro, look at me and look at you. Look at her and look at you, right? And the thing is this, right? You're sitting here, you're grunting, you're not listening to the way your form is going bad after I told you to change it. And you ask yourself why you do this every day. Because if you did this every day, you probably should stop smoking weed and probably stop drinking and doing this and having a social life. And one thing I tell a lot of people when they get into the industry, once you step on the stage for the first time ever, if you really love this, your whole lifestyle will change. Yeah. Completely. Like you be like, wow, I look like this yesterday, but look what I look like today. I want to continue this look and get better. That should be the motivation every day.
I'll chime in on that, because I have, Jason knows, Sam knows, I have zero desire to ever step on stage. It's just not something I want to do. But I respect it. Really gotten really interested in bodybuilding because of Sam and just getting to know a lot about it. But anyway, but what I have said to, I've got some close friends that I've mentored as well. When you start to see your body changing and you start to feel it, you're feeling good. You're like Jason knows, I've been getting some veins going in my legs, and I'm like, shit, I don't know. I've never had veins in my legs. This is great.
It's those small wins, right?
Yeah, it's
finding those things that you're looking for, and you did that. You took accountability.
Yeah, and I was going to make a point of that. Yeah. You say a lot. I learned this from you. Your body's your resume.
It is,
right? And so you can have all the money in the world, but you can't buy a physique. You have to earn it.
It's like you said before. You'd have the guy that's overweight at gym with the girl, right? Let's be honest. She's there because you have money. That's why she's with you, right? Maybe you've got a nice personality. I don't know you too much, but I've seen too many rich fat guys that've got a girl with them and they're there for money, right? I don't care how much money you have, you can't earn that.
No,
you can't. This I don't care how, you can't buy it. There's no money that can there's no procedure right now where you can walk into a clinic and go, hey, I'm going to give you $100,000 and I want to walk out and look like him. That all they can do is guide you there, but you have to do the work. You have to take the accountability. It's the one thing in our society right now, right? When it comes to it, I talk, there's a couple of sports. There's things like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is one of them. You can't become a black belt without doing the work. You can't. Maybe if you're a super rich person, maybe you can play for one, but it ain't going to serve you in anything. You can't look, right? You can't get that look. You cannot walk down this. And for me, as bodybuilding, what a change in my life was, that receipt immediately gives you points just by walking in a room. Just because when you walk in a room and they go, oh, I can see that he works on, I can see what he does, automatically it gains respect. People go, oh my God, you work hard. You do. There's no way. You cannot get that with anything other than busting your ass in the gym every day. That's the only way.
Yeah.
And then over and above that, busting your ass in the kitchen every day too.
Yeah, for sure. Can we pause so I can take a piss?
Sure.
Too much water. You guys want to keep going? I don't know.
No, we'll wait for you.
Yeah.
How you feeling, man?
Good, man. A little slow. That's just part of the prep life.
Oh yeah, it's rough.
Yes, I had so I'm on 6 low, 1 high. Today's a high day, so just putting the carbs back in.
That's a good day for you.
Yeah, good day, but gets you a little tired because you don't put all
Your body just wants to take it in, go sleep, and just absorb.
And that's what I'm actually gonna do after here before I go work out, because I really hate. I ain't gonna lie to you, being on a pre-workout is a good feeling. I got back on it and it's just like, it was like, ugh.
dude. I have all the respect in the world for you, but I did pro wrestling for a while, and it's very similar to bodybuilding. It's a meat grinder.
Yeah.
It just ruins you, but it's a lot of work to do, and I have every respect in the world that you do that. That is a tough sport,
man. It's a tough, rough one, but you know, it's not for the weak, but you know, it helps you in all the different levels of life. And the thing about it, the levels of life, man, helps me achieve what I want to do.
Yeah, it gets you where you need to be. Again, it builds into everything else you do, right? The rest, your whole persona, who you are, how you go and again, bodybuilding isn't who you are, but it helps make you a better man.
Yes, and bodybuilding is actually, it's not about who you are, it's about what you make it of.
Yeah.
And this is why they have different categories and different levels that you can do in the sport. So that's just one thing about the sport, which makes it so, you know, eye-opening and so excitement to be in.
Yeah, that's true. Kev, you good?
I'm good.
I think let's. I want to dive a little bit into your spirituality and what you do with the church, and then a little bit on Titan Medical.
Yeah,
you're about a two hour mark, and man, we'd love to have you back in, because I think,
of course, I love doing this thing, you know.
Yeah.
Because sometimes a different voice to the world it's not even about my platform. It's more of, you know, putting it out there, what's in your heart, because again, it's what I told you in the beginning, you can't talk to everyone.
No.
And the thing about it is just the people who understand it actually wants to listen. Mm-hmm. And again, this podcast can actually go out to reach to some other people. And it can be to other folks, and they want to chime in, because the thing is this is what I tell everybody.
Are we back? Are we back?
Yeah. We can go right.
Pull that back in.
Yeah, they say you know, why don't you put your business out there like that? And what I mean by my business is, like, you know, my Waddey Strong business, because I do it because I very, 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 very particular in the types of clients that I want with my business, because my brand is my father's legacy.
Yeah.
And the reason where Waddey Strong came in is because when my uncle was doing the sermon on the day of his death, he said that, you know, it's called Waddey Strong because my father left a wife and 5 kids, and us as a family, we have to come strong together. And that's where Waddey Strong came from. And I just took that name and ran. You know, and
you're not gonna just invite anybody to your family.
Exactly. And I told my mom that, and just for someone to wear the logo and stuff like that. No, because the thing is that, you know, again, as I said before, everybody thinks they're a trainer. Everybody wants to be businesses out here because they take their old coach's plan and they pass it along to everybody. No, it's the thing is that in my business, I like to grow your spiritual and your physical.
Yeah.
Where that in Waddey Strong, we have 2 things. Okay, purpose. Okay, purpose and prayer. Okay, have purpose, you have to have prayer. And when you pray, you're praying for a purpose. Okay, and that's where faith and fitness come from. Okay, because without faith, you can't be fit. Without fit, you can't have faith. And those are the 2 F's that people got to understand, the 2 P's. And the thing about with those things, when they tie in together, that builds your spiritual, physical mindset, and to overcoming them challenges and adversity in life. Because the problem is, the thing is this, right? Prep is where you actually going to test yourself. Okay, and that's about having that willpower, saying that I want to be the best version I can, but how am I going to be the best version of me?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the thing is that how you going to be the best version of you, first thing you got to do first is start with prayer. Okay. And you have to ask yourself is this what you want me to do? The purpose I have one is to be the best version of myself. And when I pray into it, I don't pray for having to go through prep. I pray to have guidance, to knowing that when I'm going through this prep, that I'm still going to believe in everything I eat, everything I consume, everything I live is into honor of Him.
Yeah.
Okay, and the same reason why when you're stepping on stage, no matter what the income, because see, one thing I hate and I don't like to see is these guys that, okay, say they have faith, but the only time you see them stepping on stage or praying to God is when you have the night before a show.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. So when I look at that, I say, bro, so why won't you show this all the time? Why don't you show this all the time that you're reading a book in the Bible before you step on stage? Why is it just that one day for this one show? Mm-hmm. And then you see that you don't get what you want because you're not really honoring God the way you're supposed to be. That is an on-stop and going thing. Like they say, don't just talk to Him when you want something.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be talking to Him all the time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know?
I think one of the I don't know if I'd call this an epiphany that I had, but like I love that you talk about faith and fitness being on that same level, because I remember in the corporate world I lived, it was business, family, faith, and then probably fitness. And so when I realigned and purposed myself, if you will, I have said for the last 2 years, it has to be fitness and your faith together on the same level field, because I can't effectively love my family, which is my number 2. I can't effectively love my family if I don't put myself first. Exactly. I think a lot of men go wrong here where, there's such pursuit of business, providing, and they just lose track of so much. And daily habits, we talk about daily habits a lot. I think those things are important. Prayer, meditation, scripture, reading, self-help.
Yeah.
A morning routine. A daily routine, daily checklist of things that are just core fundamental habits.
Yeah.
Because things go haywire in your life. And I agree with what you're saying. Are you just going to all of a sudden start, diving into faith and stuff like that when things go bad? Or are you going to, when things are good, you're still doing it too? So I think it's important.
Listen, you hit the nail on it. However you put it forward is, I agree with you. You cannot have the one without the other, or you won't have longevity if you don't put those two together. And I think it's how that Waddey Fitness puts that into perspective for people when they join. Tell me, for ending, I want to make sure that people understand the type of person you are through this, right? So, you're IFBB Pro, but realistically, is you're a man of God who puts fitness as the segue to get you to be the best version of yourself. Mm-hmm. And I think, what is your ideal client? So, when someone comes to you, we know everyone makes excuses and they find a way to go in, but give the men out there, if they want to attain the best version of themselves, right? What advice would you give them? There we go.
Commit. You have 2 options in life: commit or quit.
Yeah.
Which one are you gonna do? And I'll leave it at that.
I like that.
Are you gonna commit or you gonna quit? Because the thing is this: everyone can talk about it, but no one wants to do it. And the thing is that why do you think that, like, say for instance, why do you think the gym is always empty on Halloween? Mm-hmm. Where's everybody at?
Yeah, true.
Okay.
Yeah, they're out partying already.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll be empty in the morning too.
It's going to be the best day in the gym today. Why? Because it's empty.
There's no one there.
There's no one there.
True. Yeah.
Or say for instance, it's just like the one thing about LA Fitness is this, right? I know the whole time zone. The gym is busy Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It slows down Thursday because everybody's going out Thursday. Friday, you have your kids in there because they're too young to drink, but all your adults are gone. So it's slow there. Everybody comes in with a hangover in the first thing in the morning, but then the gym's empty on the weekends.
Yeah.
Because this is where your people who really don't work out comes in on the weekends, because your serious people are done already.
Right.
So this is why everyone comes in. Motivated people work out on Sundays, not Monday through Friday. Why is that? Because they think one day I'm gonna get everything I need in one day.
Yeah.
But that doesn't happen. How when you ask everybody, what's your routine today? How do you think about 90% of everybody say I do a full body workout? Because nobody knows what to do.
Yeah.
I do a full body workout. So what are you working on? my full body. Or you can ask a new person. One thing I like to do is when they really try to think they're trying to play a fool, I'd be like, okay, what is that machine they're called? They don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But you were just on it yesterday.
You have no idea what it does for you.
Because I tell my clients today is this, right? And I tell my clients who want to be at 5 a.m. or 5:30 in the morning. I tell them a couple things because I'm very, very anal about that. If you're going to choose this time spot, one, I need you to be here. Mm-hmm. What I mean by be here, it's not physically. I need you to be here.
Yeah.
If I say move left, I don't need you to move right. If I say stand up straight, stand straight. And I tell all my females clients, I say, look, I need you to wake up and get in, because there's a difference between doing a session and actually coming to work out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. These people got it mixed up. Oh, I got all these sessions, I need to use them. So that means you're not going to give no effort. You just come in just to use a session. If that's what you're going to do, you're going to go to somebody else.
Yeah.
Because I want an ideal client that's saying that I want to get better every day. Not just to ask questions, not just to say I need to come here and every day put all my effort in your progressive loading, your decreasing loading, your eating, your checking in. Because the thing is this though, right? You pay for a book. They don't understand, right? There's a book that every LA Fitness client gets, okay? They start bringing the book. I say, you pay $600 a month for that book and you leave it at home.
Yeah.
So I tell you like this, and I tell them always before I start working out. So the reason why you bring your book is so I can write your workouts in, right? So when you don't bring your book, and you go to the director and say, I want to cancel because I don't feel like I'm getting results. And when he comes to me, I want to say this: did you bring your book? Oh no, I left in the car. Well, that's why.
Nice.
Because the thing is, I've been in this industry so long, you gonna have those people that wants results.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
That don't happen anyway. I say this. Okay, well, if you want results tomorrow, what arm and what leg you want me to cut off? Which one you want? Just that simple, right? What arm and what leg you want to cut off? And I tell them my story too, but then I really don't tell people. And that's one thing I meant to tell you. I do not consider myself, I don't really put in my brand an IFBB Pro. Mm-hmm. I don't want to live that lifestyle of that. This is what I do. This is what I love, and this is my passion.
This is who you are.
Mm-hmm. Yes, but that's just not who Waddey Strong is.
Yeah, and you don't need that badge to show who you are.
No, because at the end of the day, there is 1,000 of us like that. And at the end of the day, when we first got here, and the first thing they talked about is, oh, when you get your pro card, you're gonna make a lot of money. You're gonna be the top dog. You're gonna do this and that. No, you're not.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Your brand is what you do outside. Everyone comes to me and say, let me tell you, being a sponsor athlete at Titan Medical was a blessing. If y'all looked at my podcast, what I did with John, I said it was a blessing for him to do. That was a year in the making to get. John does not sponsor bodybuilders. Why? Because bodybuilders, when they look at it as a sponsor athlete, they don't want to do the work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. My contract is different from Big Drew's. I promote. I love the products. I take the products. I use the product. I teach the products because I love it. And I use Titan Medical as my primary care.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Why? Because the thing is, I can get my blood work anytime. Mm-hmm. They can look at my blood work. If they say I need this, I told John a couple weeks ago, if my blood work come back and you need me to go in the off season, I will.
Yeah.
Because the thing is one thing that Sharice said, his wife, there is a life out of bodybuilding.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing they really registered to me is saying that, why am I going to run a gun and run my body to the ground?
Yeah.
And the thing about TRT, I really started hearing about TRT when I got into Titan Medical.
Did you?
I never knew what TRT and the thing is one thing I said too, if my dad was alive today, I wish I would have been with this medical company, would have helped him out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things that I've learned in Titan Medical with these peptides and things like that
game changer.
Is a game changer to the point, it's the thing is that what we could have used today as males, you can use it today, and people don't really understand it. They think, oh, it's steroids, bro. It's not steroids, bro. Mm-hmm. It's not. It's to the thing is point there. What these peptides are doing now, it's eliminating the injections. Mm-hmm. So because everybody don't want to take the insulin injection. Okay, cool. We understand. That's why we got orals. But just like say for instance, like the 5 aminos. That's you're taking all the different stacks of aminos, acids in your body, essential amino acids in your body, instead of drinking powders. Think about it. Before my first show, I haven't took any powders in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And I've just been doing the 5 amino Q. You know, and that's what that's for. And then think about it, clenbuterol. I haven't used clenbuterol in my prep. Why is that? Because we have the ECA stacks, the Herm stacks, which is the cleaner fat burner.
Wow. Yeah.
So you don't break down or you crash. That it has 200 to 300 milligrams of caffeine in it, but the thing about it, it won't mess up your regulation on your hormones.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So the thing about it is just that, and it's medically approved. So the thing is that the knowledge I get from Titan, I tell guys, it's like, oh yeah, I want to get sponsored. Like, bro, the thing is this, right? I tell everybody, and I'm glad I'm on here talking about this. Companies are not giving out money today.
No.
We're hurting right now.
Yeah.
The government is shutting down.
Yeah.
They're not giving out money today. You will be an affiliate. Like me, I'm not getting paid. Yes, I get my supplements every month from them, but that's the blessing for that. I'm going to pay for peptides.
Right.
I just market and shoot them there. But the thing is that when people say this term, I hate this term, put me on. Bro, I had to put myself on. I mean, a little bit of it was because Big Drew is my training partner. Cool, but what happened was they were doing a shoot with NO Champ. If y'all know who NO Champ is, one of the big viral bodybuilders up there.
Yeah.
Is that I was just in there and I was just lifting heavy, and I told him what I was using, and he was like, what can you do for the company? I said, I want to be influencer of the company for help guide bodybuilders get their blood work who don't know about their blood work, get them on the right peptides, but also I told him is that because I want to be with a company that's going to help, that's going to take care of my health.
Yeah.
Like now, I would, if I need to go get if I don't feel right, I would go get my blood work done.
Which you make a good point, because like how many bodybuilders get their stuff under the table, and there's like
and
it's just a coach that's saying take this,
and you don't know what it is,
right.
where it comes from.
I had a client today who who got on this. See, everyone wants to find the easy way out in weight loss. The easy way out, bro. And you know, and I'm gonna talk to one of my clients, and I'm gonna have a heart one next week. It's the thing is that I came to the conclusion, right? You can pay LA Fitness, right? And you pay somebody else, right? I've seen that the people you pay at LA Fitness, they will barely show up.
Yeah.
But the ones you pay under the table, they will come into all their sessions, right? So I'm trying to understand why is the difference than that, right? Or it's like, you know, all these new peptides coming out, they taking them, but they think the saying is, they don't understand about what the saying is about taking meds, you know, supplements. Less is good, more is bad.
Yes.
I had a client was out for 2 weeks because the new Craven one, the retatrutide, and the trizipatide and the semaglutide, he took too much of it.
Ooh. Because
you're supposed to only start with 10 IUs or no more than 2 IUs once a week. So he was taking more and got sick because he was trying to find an easy way out. Yeah. And what that did was set his training back more.
Yeah.
One thing I can hate about a man that's over their 35 is they can't do any push-ups or do pull-ups.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Because I look at that, it's like, you know, because
I can't do pull-ups.
Well, back in the day you could, right?
My bicep, for every time I do a pull, I feel like it's going to tear. But
you know, but guess what though? I'm sitting at 230, and I do 4 sets of 10.
Yeah,
I mean 5 sets of 10. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, for me at my age and for my and my size, it's great that I can do that. But I tell a guy, man, you know, for you, but think about it right now. If guys can do 10 push-ups straight, they'll be happy. Which that is great.
Yeah.
Because your average man can't do a push-up today.
This is true.
They can't.
They can't.
They can't do a push-up. They can't do a pull-up. They can't do a sit-up without crunching down. It's real shocking how that, you know, the more I get in this industry, the women are stronger than the guys now.
Way more.
That's crazy.
Sad.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like I have 3 women that are stronger than their husbands.
That's crazy.
They're stronger than their husbands because the thing is, there's a difference between a coach and a therapist. And I tell people, Like one guy today, one of my coworkers at work today, is so funny. He said, "Hey man, what you do you know if your client got a boyfriend? She got a boyfriend or anything?" I said, "Bro, I don't build relationships like that with my clients, bro. This is how I look at it. You have a client for 12, 6, 9 months. Mm-hmm. Your job is to get them from point A to point B. All that extra stuff, cool. I understand that." You wanna have a cup of tea and but that's not me, bro. I look at it as one thing about my director. My first ever director LA Fitness did to me was he said, "Look, it can be a curse, or it can be a curse or a sin that when you do that." And for my years of my experience of being a trainer, it's like that.
Yeah,
the ones that stay with me longer are the ones that I beat down to the ground.
Yeah.
The ones you better friends, say for instance, "Oh yeah, let's go out this weekend." You go out one day with them, the next week they cancel on you. I'm talking about they cancel training on you.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
Because the thing is that you can understand is that you love the passion of coaching and building relationships in fitness, right? Not relationships on the outside. That's what people gotta understand.
Yeah,
or if I be friends on the outside, we're gonna grow together. No, it doesn't happen like this. That's your office. That's your space. When it's come time, that's why now I tell them like, "Look, man, when one lady asked me, she said, Cordell, why you don't talk as much?" Because my experiences back, I said, unfortunately, my experiences back in the day, I set my boundaries when it comes to conversations. Because I use the saying now, the less they know is better.
Yeah.
What I mean is that the less they know about me is the better.
They need to see.
At the end of the day, one lady said, "Oh yeah, I just saw you. I look up my trainers." So when I said that, I was like, "Good. I don't have nothing to say because all you can do is look on social media and anyway to find out who I am." Right. Well, a little bit I take it as a disrespect because at the end of the day, first of all, if you think I'm a pedophile or something like that, I don't know what I'm doing. You wouldn't really sign up for here anyway. Because at that LA Fitness and Signature, how many trainers look like me? 0. So who are you going to go with?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? It's not about the looks. It's about the knowledge, the attitude, and drive. You pay for a coach. I look at this, right? If you're paying $600 a month, I'm going to give you $600 worth of effort.
There you go.
If you don't want like this and you don't like this, I'm sorry. Then you need to downgrade and get a lower package. Because I'm going to give you what you're worth and what you do. Because the thing is, the biggest thing that's in this industry today is different from LA Fitness, EOS, Crunch, is that you're not, the value of what they're doing is about sales. This business is about sales. It's about experience.
Well, you're changing somebody's life, ultimately.
They want to talk about the experience, the growth.
Yeah.
But what's sad to me is like you're like 1% of the training world, if you ask me. Like most of like maybe it's more than that, but in my eyes, like what we've seen in a lot of other gyms that are like the Main Street gyms more so.
Yeah.
The trainer, like some of these trainers, like I watch them and I go, 1, you don't look the part. You don't even look like you've worked out. But 2, it's social hour.
Yeah.
It's like you just mentioned with like where you get to know them personal, the therapist. And it's just like that.
I'm not a therapist.
Yeah. Like it's not, you're not doing that client any good.
But the thing is, some of them pay for that though.
Sure. That's fair.
Some of them pay for it, but that's why when I sit them for the initial session, I ask them, "Are you looking for a coach or are you looking for a therapist?"
So you clear out any expectations of what they want. So you're very selective on your clients.
Because that's what they sell them on. The director sells them, then they give them to us. Okay? But the thing is, they sell them the dream to get them to sign.
Yeah.
Then I put them in a reality check.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we only get paid. Well, I get paid more because I've been there for 9 years. But you're starting as a master trainer and get paid $13, $14. Okay, I'm not going to give you this dream for $13.
Right.
Yeah.
But you can give me the effort that I need to make this more.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. But you got to set that tone.
Gotcha.
You have to set because the thing is that customer service is a broad statement. It's a broad thing. Customer service can go either way, but sometimes customer service can bite you in the ass too. Because you got to realize is that when they're looking for you, they're looking for your expectation, your business, not the corporate way. Because the corporate way is about sign them up and that's it. That's what they don't understand. The thing about everybody wants to be a trainer, but everybody wants to be a trainer of what type of people they want. Being a trainer, being a coach, being a life coach, is about building your foundation of somebody. Because so when you start them small and build them up, they're gonna realize that at the end of the day, they started with you, and then you're gonna finish with you.
Right.
Mm-hmm. If you don't look at that way, then you will never be successful in this industry, because you always think that, okay, I want this one. If you don't have any different type of tricks in the trades in this industry, you're never going to be successful. I can work from everybody from an infant to somebody who's ready to pass away tomorrow. I had 5 breast cancer patients. I had everybody with from ligaments to injury, and I learned from them. You know, everybody say, Cordell, once you open your gym, why would I want to open the gym and I'm successful at LA Fitness?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's why you never see me work out with train clients at Metroflex I used to be at Jack's the pit in Jacksonville Beach before COVID. When COVID shut down, I was doing private there. But I looked at it. The thing about it, it's more stressful to go on your own than it is working for corporate. Why? Because
you're responsible for it all.
It's everything's controlling.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the money. Okay, whatever. But the thing about it is, if you don't, there's so much networking in corporate America. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. One thing about it, I work at the largest LA Fitness in Jacksonville. In Tampa. It's at the Signature Club. And the thing about it is that I can tell you, my birthday was October 10th. The love I had from all them folks in there was better than the Hurricane Pro.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the thing about that's more than worrying about fucking clientele. I tell a new trainer here, you building relationships. Because guess what though? Those people down there in South Tampa, those people, you're gonna need those people in your back pocket.
Yeah.
And that's why I look at the long term.
Yeah.
I look at the long, not the short term. That's just even with your progress. Okay. I'm looking to say that, okay, when I hit 50, 45 years old, and I'm going to walk away from bodybuilding, what am I leaving? Okay. One, I'm going to leave my health in check. But guess what, though? Everybody's going to know that I never gave up. I always kept going. One thing that the legacy I have from Jacksonville is they know me as for running the gauntlet. They know me as the guy that always did 30, 40 different shows a year. You know what I mean? Just throwing it out there. And it's just like, they know me from here. This is one reason why I came back to Florida, because the NPC of Florida knows who I am. No, that doesn't help you on stage, but to think about it, I held down a legacy here before I moved to Dallas.
Yeah.
And this is why, because the community is loved. Because when you walk around in Tampa Pro, the community is even the Hurricane is just big.
Yeah.
It's just big, man. And the thing about it is that everyone knows everybody, and that's the one thing right there why, I look at it here, is that even though you have your ups and downs, it's the community of where you started at to where it is. And the thing about it, even though them judges are not placing me well, I can tell you one thing, them judges gonna say, you came a long way than where you first started.
Yeah.
And that means a lot. Even though I probably came in last calls or whatever, but just to develop yourself and for a judge to say that great, yes, you want to be rewarded, right? But at the end of the day, you gotta see where you came from. And this is what I tell my clients.
Which that's ultimately you versus you.
Yeah.
That's the...
You gotta defeat that. Yeah. And I tell my clients, I said, I understand you busy. I understand you're traveling, okay? But how hard is it just to come in here and walk on a treadmill? How hard is it just to pick up the phone and say, hey, coach, I am not going to be here this week, but can you send me a workout?
Yeah.
Why do I have to tell you every day? Communication. That's the hardest. That's why people don't understand. People thinking that our job is fun, and it's more stressful than what you think it is.
No, sure.
I have 45 clients. 45 clients at LA Fitness. The hardest part is scheduling and getting them to answer phone to come in.
I bet.
Wow.
I bet
it is.
Just
the training part is the easy part.
Yeah.
Do this. Okay.
Yeah.
Boom. 3 rounds of 5 rounds of 20. Boom. They done.
Yeah.
But guess what though? Trying to get them in the schedule. Just say, for instance, the draining part for me right now is just doing my schedule every day. Sometimes I don't finish it today. I just do it tomorrow. Because the thing is that you're playing Monopoly.
Yeah.
Every Sunday I get texted and say, oh, okay, do. Or it's just that, hey, I need you to schedule. They don't schedule this week. Okay. But people don't realize that when they don't schedule, we don't get paid.
Yeah.
But the problem is, if you want a spot, you need to come get there. But I tell everybody that, hey, look, you see the progress that you have right now. So think about that next week when I have to call you and say schedule. How about you just get on their schedule now? I got some people now that don't even want to miss a beat with me. Yeah. And those people, I tell them, you get first senior priority.
Yeah, nice.
Why? Because the thing is that I work from 5 a.m. to 8 at night. I sleep in my car during my lunch break. I train, I sleep in my car, I go to my next shift. Because I live 30 minutes away.
Yeah.
Okay. Unless I work at the Valrico location. But the thing is that the hustle and grind I do, I love it. And the thing is, you have to do what you have to do. And this is why, till that day, as that saying that the social media is saying, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not from a month from now, but one day I will be a champion. And the adversity that I'm taking to get there is going to pay off one day. It might be in the PCA. It might be in the Master Olympia. It might be in the Master. But I have to keep the gas on, because it's all going to pay off. And when they sit there and they ask me on stage when I win, is asking me that, you say it, because I go through the adversity and I know how to get over the adversity. I don't steer left and I'm not going backwards, because at the end of the day, there is a finish line there.
Yeah, that's good.
You just can't see it now.
Yeah.
But there's a finish line there. You know, even though it's hard right now going into this next show, it's my 5th show, and I'm fighting between my thoughts and my mindset right now. But the finish line is going to be there. You just got to get to it.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell everybody. They ask me how you feel about going to show. I just need to get to the finish line. And that's what I say every day to myself, is that I say, God, lead me to this finish line.
Yeah.
I like it. That's a good spot to leave it.
Yeah, there. Man. You're inspirational of how you push forward. You push that to your clients, and we wish you all the best with your contest this year. And I have no doubt we will see that championship hit you very soon.
And when you win, we want you back.
Yeah, man.
Bring you back on.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening.